Nice. It's getting late. Where to now?
La 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 la. La 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 la.
You know, I'm most jealous of people who have houses to live in.
Face recognition.
Greetings! I'm Cody of the Bloodhound family, head of security for the hotel. How may I assist you?
Hello. So, there's something I wanted to ask about. Do you think there's anything to be worried about? I traveled all the way from the height.
What do you mean?
Wait.
I'm not sure where you heard those rumors, but they're completely baseless. At present, all of the families are focused on making sure the festival starts on time. Even the Dream Master himself has arrived. So don't worry.
She doesn't appear to be acting. So, it seems that he... back already?
Hasn't she returned yet?
Nope. I'm starting to... Neither the staff nor the guests seem to know anything about what's happening in the dreamscape, and where...
I agree. Another unusual thing is that the Oak family is supposed to be in charge of... I walked around the hotel, but didn't meet a single member of the Oak family.
Well, I'll be forked. If I remember correctly, the head of the Oak family is that Sunday guy, right?
We shouldn't linger here too long.
Not so fast. Have you ever robbed the IPC, bro?
Are you suggesting we...
I wouldn't say do nothing, but let's stay put for now. Even if the family has, they don't want to attract unwanted attention from certain outsiders, so...
If I were a family member, I'd find an official excuse and keep the surprise factors here.
Of course, we don't need to walk into their trap. I gave a backup plan to the memo keeper. If it turns out we won't be allowed to enter the dreamscape...
A secret signal.
That's right.
Oh, a concrete object can indeed help the memo keeper establish a connection with you. But Boot Hill...
I'm sorry. But it's one of my quirks. I have too many unreliable friends.
How do we get into the VIP lounge?
This is where my street smarts come into play.
This dream's quite actually
You're the... Lob...
Yes, I am.
We're the Nameless from the Astral Express. We wanted to check in, but there's something wrong with your... We've been waiting here forever, without any food or water. What...
Is this your idea of...
It's called...
I apologize for the inconvenience. Please wait while we try to contact Mr. Sunday. I'll...
Just don't call yourself...
Wow, this bar's something else. Certainly worthy of the planet of festivities.
One Peach Soul Glad? Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, I have an order for a bottle of Hasdana's White Oak.
Hasdana's White Oak.
Oh, no way.
If someone had reserved such a beverage, I would definitely remember it. It sells for hundreds of thousands of credits per bottle, after all.
That's strange. What could it be?
Then what should we do now?
Oh, no need to rush. Let's see what kind of juice malts you...
Wow, that's the most expensive. What can I get for you?
Anything you recommend.
Then I would recommend today's special, Glass Village. It's classic Soul Glad mixed with...
This flavor. Dynamite barbecue with rocket fuel. Ooh, really hits the spot.
Dynamite barbecue with rocket fuel.
Hey,
As long as you're satisfied, dear guests.
let's give the memo keeper another half system hour. If she doesn't show up,
The situation is unclear. Something must have happened on the planet of festivities, but the public is unaware of it. It's unusual for the followers of the Harmony to invite other factions, let alone the IPC and the Masked Fools.
Actually, there's something else I'm concerned about. As you know, the faction that follows the path of the hunt are some of the most dangerous folks in the cosmos to mess with. I mean, isn't there a saying among the Xianzhou people that, the Rainbow Sect...
Talking. Do all the talking.
Well, you know what I mean. Even though the Galaxy Rangers have been out of sight for years, we've been keeping an eye on this region. Even the dumbest criminals know better than to mess with the Annihilation Gang, much less the Rangers. But that Acheron lady, she doesn't seem like a lunatic at all. On the contrary,
And you believe that someone like her would have...
I'm not entirely sure. But I do have my...
Anyway, what worries me more are the anomalies within the family. They've summoned followers from various paths, unless the invitations weren't sent by them. If that's the case,
Maybe it's Shipei the Harmony pulling the strings. You find it beyond human understanding because it wasn't arranged by humans at all. People do stupid things out of irrational impulses. They abandon their principles when self-interest is involved. They believe, but eons don't.
you think Shipei's will...
It may not necessarily be Shipei. there's definitely some higher entity involved. It's much simpler when you boil it down to the eons and paths. Like how Lon always follows the path of the hunt, or how the Express stays true to the Trailblaze
But in my opinion, Akavili's fall holds
Oh, so you're saying the Nameless now have to take responsibility for their own—
Exactly. I believe the purpose of the journey isn't just— It's more about doing your best to choose the right path for yourself among countless possibilities.
I don't know what you've been through, but I agree that people must take responsibility. That's why the Galaxy Rangers need to uncover the imposter. Just in case. I have a backup plan if the Memo Keeper doesn't show up.
You sure have a lot of cards up your sleeve.
Well, going back to my old career would make— By the way, when you were walking around the hotel—
What's your plan?
It's simple. We just grab some hostages and use them as bargaining—
No need for that.
Wait, are you getting scared?
Are you leaving, esteemed guests? Would you like to cancel that as Donna's White Oak you just...
Huh? As Donna's White Oak.
Ha ha. Looks like you are a bit intoxicated.
Looks like...
Oh, right. Sorry, my memory's not the best. You know, too many modifications and all. Anyway, let me check. Well, fork me. It says Donna's White Oak, all right. And there's a note. I'll be waiting for you on the Astral Express.
No mistake. That's her message to you. She knew the hotel wasn't safe, so she
Well, looks like we took a detour, but now it's back to the Astral Express. So, what are we waiting for? Let's go.
You're back? Two guests just boarded saying they were looking for Boot Hill, so I told them to wait in the parlor car.
Oh, just
2 guests?
Yeah, or 2. Look, we welcome all passengers on the Astral Express, but
My apologies, conductor. It was an oversight on my part. I assumed you were already acquainted with the garden. Given the chaotic situation in Penacony, the Nameless are the only ones we can truly
You are the Memo Keeper.
Pleased to meet you, Dan Hung. I've seen you in others' memories. And as for Boot Hill, this is our first face-to-face meeting.
finally, Memo Keeper. Well, let's cut to the chase. Spill everything you know.
That's precisely what I intend to do. But before that, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Black Swan, and I'm sure she knows it better than I do.
Greetings. I'm Acheron.
What? You Garden of Recollection shirtbag!
I apologize, but she did that at my request. Due to certain reasons, I have been exiled by the family. Thankfully, this Memo Keeper came to my aid and helped me
To be honest, it was more like stalking than helping. And the process was far from unnoticed.
I asked her to guide me to a place beyond the family's reach and to contact a few trustworthy individuals. Namely, all of you.
Trustworthy? Son of a nice lady. You think I'm dumb or something? How about this? I'll put a few bullet holes in your head and see what secrets spill out. Then, we can talk about trust.
It doesn't have to be like that. I'm willing to answer all your questions, but not right now. If my cover hadn't been blown, we might have had more time, but at the moment, we don't have any other options.
No other options? What do you mean?
This is the only way I can ensure everyone's safety. I kindly request an immediate warp jump out of the Astana star system.
This passenger is requesting
As far as I can tell, she's not a threat, and seems to be.
I've briefly traveled with your companions and know their whereabouts, Don Hung. Please rest assured, your nameless companions are safe, but they... As for Boot Hill, you may have guessed. I've been waiting for you. Galaxy Rangers are known for their elusive nature and limited contact with each other, so this was the only way I could reach out to you. Only by doing this can I find a true Galaxy Ranger and fulfill a long-standing promise. To return his relics to their rightful owner. Someone once told me that every rainfall is like a gift from the heavens. Raindrops are said to be the tears of the gods, shed in response to the sorrows of the world. Their constant pouring is a reminder. So, how long has this rain been going on for?
I used to believe, just like you, that it would eventually stop. Looks like the god you mentioned doesn't exist after all. Well, let mortals who walk the paths are like sailors on a vast ocean, leaving behind, and for some, their presence
Like those shadows.
Sin-thirsters, the obsessions of the Pathstriders. They emerge from the nihility they were once my dear companions.
Are you watching over them?
Watching over them? No. It was a brutal war. A crusade that shook the universe. The unwavering determination of the Hunt followers persists even in death. So someone must, as for me, I've suffered too.
But you know, these sin-thirsters.
Does this seem... Well, some tasks have to be done, even if they are.
I can help you.
For what?
For the meaning of the nihility. That's...
I see. After all, this realm is off limits. Thank you, stranger. I wish that you find...
Before we part ways, I have one more question. It is true that their actions and even their entire lives may seem... If this is what the departed ones expect.
A good question. And a profound one. What I do know is that someone will stand at my grave.
When I appeared as a child, my speech, mindset, and soul as I grew into adulthood, I left behind.
I humbly request your blessings, esteemed advocate of Shipe.
Come to me, my kinship.
As you wish. I have faithfully served the Alfalfa family for nearly a decade, promoting the path of the harmony to the best of my ability. However, out of laziness, I lied and claimed that everything was ready. Although the head has dismissed me as punishment, it has been tough to...
Do you sincerely repent and vow to change your ways?
Yes.
Have you examined your soul and confessed all your sins? Are you willing to accept the problem? Very well. Show your dedication and goodwill to...
Praise Shipe. And thank you.
Next, please step forward.
I wholeheartedly confess to you. Please.
Rest assured, I have implored their presence to be with us.
Oh, great. You know, I arrived in Penacony.
I see.
My children were starving, and I hoped they'd have a chance at survival if they became slaves here. But the Bloodhound family got wind of it. They're on my tail, hunting me down. I thought I could bring my kids here.
The family is ready to forgive all sinners. I'll ask the Bloodhound family to cease their...
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Next, please
Hey! Long time no see, Mr. Sunday. The most esteemed individual.
I have sought their presence with us.
Sure. Let's just get this over with. That's it. Nothing more.
Do you seek...
My sins? Starting to sound like a saint, huh? You think nobody knows what your precious family has done? About the watchmaker? Huh? Don't kid yourself, Featherbrain. Those dream chasers might... Before you start spouting off your holy verses, answer me this. Where does the power of the Oak family come from? Well, I've spent enough time in confession today to enter the Harmony's paradise, right? Then I'll take my leave.
Oh, revered triple-faced soul, who can judge the strong when they're... Who can vouch for the weak when they will pay any price? Who can comfort the purest souls if the strong defending the weak is truly the... Then who?
Brother? Brother, are you all right?
I'm... fine. I've been working long hours.
You've been working non-stop on the Charmony Festival, Mr. Sunday, and no one could have predicted this incident. Even if the Stellaron does
No need to worry about troubling anyone. The Charmony Festival was meant to spread joy and harmony across the...
It has always been our wish to make everyone happy, so... We'll do our best to explain, even if the negotiation does not go smoothly. I'll refuse to go on stage. Without the Chordmaster, the Harmonious Choir would not arrive, and the Charmony Festival would be just a grand performance, and nothing more.
I'm relieved to... You know, since arriving in Penacony, we haven't had any contact with this Dream Master himself. I'd heard...
The Dream Master rarely grants an audience, even for us. But, given the urgency...
Perhaps you'll be the first guest to meet the Dream Master.
Let's hope we can reach a consensus that's...
Indeed. Let us hope so.
It's about time. We'll have to get ready for the meet.
Don't worry. I'll...
Here, it's Mr. Sunday! Hey, come over here! Oh, Mr. Sunday. Hey there! Okay, see the moon in the sky? It's about if I just read... Yeah. Look at me, but it's no big deal. They told me not to sell
Selling everything you had?
Why? Can't you see? It's better to be here at Penacony. No pain, no worries about tomorrow, just sweet dreams.
Is this...
Huh? What did you...
Oh, it's nothing, sir. You see, the traffic on Glock's Avenue can be dangerous. How about I ask a Bloodhound family member to escort you to...
Oh, yeah, that's a great... See you around, Mr. Sunday, and...
What's up, sister?
This is the land of the dreams. The man we ran into. Even though sweet dreams are nice, they're just illusions. But for him...
I suppose you have a point.
Why do you say...
You think that man is not actual. People believe they have a predetermined value to fulfill. However, value doesn't come out of thin air. And there's a limit to it. To accumulate...
Are you suggesting that...
Exactly. But, ironically, people don't think there's anything wrong with the survival of the fittest. No tragedies exist here. Only
Perhaps that man is just an exception. Let's not jump to conclusions.
Yes, seeing is believing.
Glad to meet you again, Robin. How are the preparations for the Charmony Festival?
It's going smoothly.
You're too kind, Robin. It's a pleasure to have guests. I can't stand being lonely or...
But if this went on forever...
Nah, not every day. You get to wear fancy clothes, explore all...
But you know that only a few things can be brought back from the dreamscape to reality.
That's exactly why I don't plan on bringing anything back. Just enjoying the dream itself is good enough for me. I mean, I'm not one of those long-living species. Only in this sweet dream can I truly feel like I'm in control of my life. And I wish you a fantastic performance, Robin! I'm off to the Blue Hour for the ball. See you later.
Seems like that guest's perspective.
She had a valid point.
What you're trying to say is, she thinks she's in control of her life. But in reality, she's just escaping from reality and seeking solace in this sweet dream. Once she steps...
Well, she did...
However, the parrot...
No. The parrot... The scenery in this dreamscape is truly breathtaking, isn't it?
Oh, Robin. Can't believe it. You're right. Even though...
A philosophical mind.
Oh, not at all. No. With little...
It's my pleasure. No need to be formal. Just...
Yeah. I was part of a war, and while escaping from the Sarkozy, then all my comrades died, and my hometown was wiped out by neutron bombardments. And they have, and I'm truly grateful for that. They provided me with a comfortable room, most advanced life support. My physical body is now in the dream pool, sustained by life support. The me you see here is whole, rational, and no different from any other person. But my true appearance... Huh?
So... you...
Just being able to live at all is good enough for me. Whether it's in this dreamscape or not, well, I don't really have much say in the matter. My world has been torn apart, and my life could end any second. So...
That old man's story... It's so...
That's precisely why this...
However... Even this...
There will be a way out.
Look what we have here. A lovely young lady. Wait. Brother. What?
Show yourself. Your trick won't...
I've heard that a skilled mass fool received an invitation, too.
Barely. The people here are way too gullible. A little bait is all it takes for them to bite.
Now that you've had your fill, it'd be wise to leave before it's too late.
What? you have the real Robin, I'm useless? Oh, how disheartening. You should be thanking me, because if it weren't for me cleaning up this mess...
That was a personal request from the head of the Iris family, and it has nothing to do with us. Step aside.
The Charmony Festival? You think I don't care what you're thinking, chicken wing boy. But I'm pretty sure our lovely Robin won't be appearing on the stage. After all, Penacony, the land of the dream.
Stop it.
What's the rush?
Our paradise is none of your concern, Master. Leave now, or the family...
All right. I'll go. But Rob, do you really believe those living in dreams can escape pain? Well, I've done my part. And now I'm simply waiting for the fireworks. Here, the last 2 gifts for both of you. And don't lose them. If by some unfortunate... And it'll be thrilling.
I heard a raven cawing in the distance. It seems the Dream Master will arrive soon. Let's wait here for the Dream.
Okay. By the way, brother, I heard you no longer have a sweet tooth. Seems like a lot has changed during my absence.
Well...
But that someone doesn't have to be you. The paradise in our dream, Penacony, is nothing more than a dream. It can't erase the worries and pain of reality.
Remember the old man we met earlier? Without this
That might be true, but... even without Penacony, he could have chosen another... That path may have been more ordinary and challenging. But now, he is receiving... Is Penacony granting these people a future?
Well, don't forget this. The future for humanity is like the sky for birds. People mistake... Do you remember how we took in that little Charmony dove when we were young?
Yeah. We took care of it. Provided food and water.
Well, I didn't mention shortly after you left. It
I had surmised as much. I knew you wouldn't have avoided mentioning the bird for no reason. Despite that unfortunate outcome, I still believe it was the right decision. Birds aren't meant to spend their lives in cages. They belong in the sky, even if they can't fly.
But here's the thing. If there are birds in this world that can never fly, can we really assert that they belong in the sky?
Are you implying that the same goes for humans too?
Let's take the Astral Express as an example. The Nameless made tremendous efforts to bridge worlds, gaining fame across the universe. However, only a few extraordinary individuals can endure such a perilous journey. That's because the pursuit of the Trailblaze exceeds the capabilities of ordinary humans. Otherwise, why would this path be filled with broken rails, an abandoned express, and...
That's just sophistry. If that were true...
Unfortunately, that's exactly what happens. Another name for the future is self-value. While this world has its fair share of heroes who inspire people and garner admiration for their heroic deeds, some are born weak and vulnerable. Some find themselves trapped in unfortunate circumstances. Some fall victim to malice and cowardice. When it comes to survival, everyone is equal.
That's why we should care for the weak and support them as if their suffering were our own. That's what the Odes of Harmony have always taught.
While the Harmony holds noble aspirations, the strong will always be strong, and the weak will always be weak. Even in this carefree dream. In the end, if people can't even secure their own survival, they won't care about the illusory future of equality. As long as the...
But if people don't live for the future, do they merely exist for survival? If even you, my brother, don't believe that the Harmony...
People often forget that when the first bird took flight, the entire world envisioned a future. No more fledglings would ever crash to their death.
Are you reading, sister? What are you reading?
Mr. Gopherwood gave me a picture book. It's about the story of the harmonics. If I could become a chord master, I'd like to summon... Dominicus, the harmonic...
I see.
Don't you...
Of course I do. It's just that...
Then, let's build a stage there, and invite every...
It's a deal that...
Yeah, it's a deal. But...
Maybe you will have to be...
You're back sooner than I thought. Any results?
Yes. And now, it's up to us to
Since he's already carried out his last wish, my final mission is... But pardon me if I sound curt. It's good to have determination. The path Mikhail left for you is not an easy one to tread. Why else would he have chosen to sleep in solitude? But you have the numbers. And in numbers comes strength.
Got any more encouraging words?
As I see it, relying on Welt's negotiations alone is far from enough. Regardless of whether the other party will be compliant, negotiating simply allows us to meet them as equals. And Penacony is our rival's home turf, and we already have very few chips left to play with. Rather than idly sit around while the family's got us blocked off, an offensive approach might be... We're more familiar with the Stellaron's properties than most. And since it's the key to stabilizing the sweet dream, it's vital to the family's interests. By attacking their core interests, they're bound to retaliate hastily. And as the saying goes, haste makes waste.